Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Looks like this time you've been researching entrepreneurship and the impact businesses have on society.
Yeah, lots of interesting stuff out there.
So let's tackle this head on. What is it that makes someone, take that leap and become an entrepreneur?
Well, a lot of people think it's just about starting a business, but it's really more than that.
Oh,
It's about, seeing an opportunity and being willing to take a risk and having that drive to create something new.
yeah, that makes sense. And speaking of drive, the sources you've gathered mention all sorts of different motivations for becoming an entrepreneur.
Right.
I mean, profit is definitely a factor, but it's not always the main thing.
Definitely not. I mean, one study actually found that like 70% of entrepreneurs are more driven by solving a problem they've personally experienced.
Wow, so it's almost like turning a negative into a positive.
Exactly. That personal connection can be super powerful.
Right.
But it's usually a mix of things: the desire for independence, wanting financial security,
Mhm.
wanting to make a difference,
Right, right.
and understanding your why, like why you're doing it, is super important, especially when things get tough. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the sources also talk about certain characteristics that are often found in entrepreneurs, things like risk taking and vision and initiative and being innovative.
hmm
But does that mean you have to be like,
Yeah, exactly. The point is, there are lots of different roles within a successful business,
yeah,
and figuring out your strengths and weaknesses too is important for figuring out if entrepreneurship is the right path for you,
that makes a lot of sense.
or if maybe you'd thrive in a different role within a business.
Okay, so let's say someone IS cut out for this whole entrepreneurship thing.
Right.
Where do they even begin to find those million-dollar ideas? Like, where do they even come from?
Well, one source I read suggested that entrepreneurs just have this knack for spotting patterns that other people miss.
Hmm, interesting.
And, what do you think are the skills or the experiences that contribute to that ability?
That's a great question. I mean, the sources mention a lot of different things like innovation and keeping up with market trends. And then there's recognizing what customers need and haven't been getting, and then even tapping into these global markets.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah, it's like they have this special radar for seeing potential where everyone else just sees like the same old thing.
It's kind of like this. Invention is creating something brand new, but entrepreneurship is taking that invention and figuring out how to make it a real business.
Ah, okay.
It's that bridge between a cool idea
Yeah.
and actually making it work in the real world.
So it's almost like taking it from the lab to the marketplace.
Exactly.
Got any like real world examples of businesses that popped up because someone saw a market opportunity?
Oh, absolutely. Think about those online grocery delivery services that have become so popular.
Oh, yes.
They saw that people were looking for more convenience and ways to save time and built a whole business model around that.
Very cool. So, okay, you've got the idea, you're driven, you've got that entrepreneurial spirit.
Right.
Now what? How do you take that idea out of your head and into the real world? What's the next step?
Well, goal setting and decision making are super important.
Oh, okay.
Goals give you direction, right? And they could be financial goals, social goals, even personal goals.
Hmm.
Think of it like a roadmap to keep you on track and aligned with, your values.
But isn't it hard sometimes to figure out which path to take?
Oh, absolutely. Decision making is something you're doing all the time as an entrepreneur, and every choice opens up new possibilities, but also new challenges.
It's like you're walking through a forest, and at every fork in the road, you have to decide which way to go.
Exactly. And sometimes you have to change course,
Hmm.
adapt to, new situations, make those tough decisions based on what's happening around you.
So, is there any way to make those decisions, I don't know, with a little more confidence? The sources mention something called a feasibility study.
Yeah, feasibility
What
studies.
is it exactly?
It's basically testing your business idea out in the real world.
Okay.
It involves doing really thorough market research to understand your audience, figuring out your finances to see if the numbers work, and then analyzing your competition to find your place in the market.
And speaking of finances, one source mentioned this metric called return on investment or ROI.
Yeah, ROI.
What role does that play in figuring out if a business is actually viable?
So ROI is basically a way to measure how profitable an investment is going to be, right? It helps you
Yeah.
figure out if the potential return is actually worth the financial risk you'd be taking.
So it's not just about having a cool idea, but also making sure that it makes sense financially, too.
Exactly.
Makes sense. But let's zoom out a bit.
Okay.
Beyond the individual entrepreneur's journey, how do businesses impact society as a whole?
Well, businesses are super important for a nation's well-being,
Okay.
both economically and socially. They create jobs, they generate tax revenue, which can then be used for public services,
Right.
and they also drive economic growth. But it goes even deeper than just the dollars and cents.
I was just going to say, what about the social impact of businesses?
Businesses offer opportunities for people to develop their careers,
Mm.
to advance in their careers. They help foster innovation and technological progress.
Mm.
And a lot of businesses are also getting involved in what's called corporate social responsibility,
Oh, right, right.
which is basically a company's commitment to ethical practices and having a positive impact on society.
So businesses can be a force for good on multiple levels.
Absolutely.
Which makes me wonder, how can we encourage even more of that positive impact? The sources mention several ways to foster a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. What stands out to you the most?
Hmm. Well, one thing that seems really crucial is government investment in research and development,
Okay.
because it helps create a space for innovation, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. But some people argue that relying too much on government funding can actually stifle true innovation. What do you think about that?
That's a really good point. It's like finding that balance between providing support and letting things grow organically.
Yeah, exactly. And along with government investment, things like council grants specifically for new businesses can provide that initial financial boost that can be so crucial.
So it's like providing those resources early on to help turn an idea into a thriving business.
Right.
What else can be done, maybe on a more community level?
Well, creating regional business startup hubs can be super effective.
Okay.
They offer mentorship, networking opportunities, and access to various resources. So it fosters this sense of camaraderie and shared learning, which can be so valuable for entrepreneurs, especially in those early stages.
It's like creating this supportive ecosystem where entrepreneurs can learn and grow and connect with other people who are on the same journey.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it seems like a nation's success is really closely tied to its ability to cultivate this culture of innovation and risk-taking.
So it's about creating a society that encourages people to think outside the box and pursue their passions and, even embrace the possibility of failure as a learning opportunity.
That's the heart of it.
Yeah.
It brings us right back to those key characteristics of successful entrepreneurs. Having vision, taking initiative, being willing to face uncertainty.
Right.
It's not just about starting businesses. It's about cultivating this mindset that can benefit all of society, a mindset of creativity, resilience, and believing in the power of human ingenuity.
Wow, this has been so insightful already. I feel like I'm getting a whole new understanding of the complexities of entrepreneurship and its impact on the world around us.
It's been great exploring these ideas with you. It's amazing how interconnected all of these concepts really are.
So thinking about, your own ventures or your career path, what are some of the takeaways that really resonate with you from what we've discussed about entrepreneurship so far?
The first thing that pops into my mind is that entrepreneurship is more of a mindset.
Hmm.
It's a way of approaching challenges and opportunities with a clear vision, a willingness to, take those risks, and the determination to see those ideas through.
Mm.
It's about being a change maker, a trailblazer.
And it seems like success in entrepreneurship isn't just about individual brilliance, but also about collaborating with others,
Oh, definitely.
building strong teams and leveraging the expertise and support of other people.
Absolutely.
It's knowing that it's okay to ask for help and seek guidance from mentors.
Couldn't agree more. Embracing the power of community and shared learning can make such a huge difference.
And it's important to remember that entrepreneurship isn't just about profit, right?
Right.
It's about making a positive impact on the world, using your skills and talents to create something meaningful and contribute to something bigger than yourself.
You got it. It's about aligning your business with your values and your desire to make a difference. So as we keep exploring entrepreneurship, I want to leave you with this question to think about. What kind of impact do you want to make on the world? Could entrepreneurship be your path to achieving that?
That's definitely a question worth pondering as we think about our own aspirations.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a question that can really get you thinking and could even lead to some really amazing new businesses.
For sure. Now, you mentioned the importance of fostering a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship, and the sources actually delve into some specific methods for encouraging that kind of growth.
Right.
What are some of those methods and what makes them so effective?
Well, one approach that's really interesting is setting up these things called incubators and accelerators.
Incubators and accelerators.
Yeah, these programs basically give startups the support they need, things like mentorship, resources, sometimes even funding, to help them grow and really scale their businesses.
So it's almost like providing a greenhouse environment for these startups to like blossom and really develop their ideas.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
And one source mentioned Y Combinator as like a prime example of this.
Oh, yeah, Y Combinator.
What makes that program so special?
Well, Y Combinator is known for having an incredible track record. I mean, they've helped launch some huge companies like Airbnb, Dropbox, Stripe, all these companies that have really disrupted their industries.
Wow.
What sets them apart is their, really rigorous selection process and the fact that they're laser focused on giving founders the tools and connections they need to succeed.
So they've kind of cracked the code, so to speak.
You could say that.
But not everyone can get into a program like Y Combinator, right?
Yeah.
So what about those entrepreneurs who are just starting out? What resources are out there for them?
Well, there are tons of resources available online.
Okay.
Platforms like Coursera and edX offer courses on, everything from entrepreneurship to marketing to finance and more. And then there's always networking.
Networking. So like getting out there and connecting with other entrepreneurs, potential mentors.
Exactly. Attending industry events, joining those online communities, even just reaching out to people you admire can open so many doors and give you some really valuable insights.
So it's about building relationships and learning from the experiences of others who've been there.
That's the key.
One source really highlighted the importance of mentorship.
Yeah, mentorship is huge.
Why is having a mentor so crucial in this whole entrepreneurial journey?
Well, a good mentor can be a guide, They can offer support, be a sounding board for your ideas.
Right.
They've been there, they've done that, and they can help you navigate those challenges and maybe even avoid some common pitfalls.
Oh,
Finding a mentor who really aligns with your values and vision can be a total game changer.
so it's about finding that trusted advisor who can keep you on the right track and help you make those, really important decisions.
I guess so.
Now, we've talked a lot about the positive sides of entrepreneurship, but let's be real.
Okay.
It's not always easy, right? What are some of the challenges and risks that entrepreneurs face?
Yeah, entrepreneurship definitely isn't for the faint of heart.
Right.
It takes resilience, adaptability, and a willingness to, deal with the unknown. One of the biggest challenges is the financial risk.
Especially in those early stages when you might be bootstrapping and putting your own savings on the line.
Exactly. And then you've got competition, long hours, and you constantly have to adapt to, the changing market.
Right,
It
right.
can be a real roller coaster, both emotionally and physically.
So how do those successful entrepreneurs deal with those tough times? What makes them different from the ones who, give up?
Well, I think it's a few things. First, there's passion. Really successful entrepreneurs are driven by this deep belief in their vision, and they genuinely want to make a difference. That passion is what keeps them going when things get hard.
It's like that fire in their belly that pushes them forward.
Yeah. And then there's grit, that ability to bounce back from setbacks, to learn from their mistakes and keep moving forward, even when things seem impossible.
So it's that resilience that helps them get through the tough times and come out even stronger.
Exactly.
The sources also mentioned having a strong support system.
Oh, yeah. That's huge.
Why is that so important?
Well, having a network of friends, family, mentors, people who believe in you and offer that emotional support,
Yeah.
that can be invaluable during those tough times, It can make all the difference.
It's like having that sense of community and shared purpose that helps you stay focused and, grounded.
For sure.
So as we're wrapping up this part of our deep dive, I'm curious, what are your own entrepreneurial aspirations? Have any of the things we've talked about sparked any ideas or, I don't know, inspired you to take action?
Well, I've always been really fascinated by technology and how it can be used to solve real-world problems.
Okay.
And one area I'm super interested in is using artificial intelligence to improve healthcare outcomes.
Wow.
There's just so much potential there to develop innovative solutions that can really help people live longer, healthier lives.
That's a really inspiring goal. It sounds like you already have that entrepreneurial spirit burning bright.
I hope so.
What are you doing to actually pursue this vision?
Well, right now I'm doing a lot of research and connecting with experts in the field.
Okay.
And I'm also trying to learn as much as I can about AI and machine learning. It's a field that's constantly changing, so it's important to stay ahead of the curve.
It sounds like you're approaching this with the same strategic mindset that we've been talking about.
I'm trying to.
What advice would you give to someone who's listening to this deep dive and feeling inspired to, maybe explore their own entrepreneurial path?
I'd say the most important thing is to just start.
Just start.
Yeah. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. Take that first step, even if it's just brainstorming some ideas or reaching out to a potential mentor.
So it's about taking action and like building momentum.
Exactly. And remember, entrepreneurship is a journey, not a destination. You know,
Hmm.
embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories, and never stop pursuing those dreams.
And what about that fear of failure? How do you overcome that?
Well, it's totally natural to feel fear, but successful entrepreneurs, they see failure as a learning opportunity,
Okay.
a stepping stone to something even better. It's about shifting your perspective and embracing the growth that comes from taking those risks.
So it's like reframing failure as a chance to learn and grow.
Exactly.
The sources also mention the importance of building a really solid team.
Oh, yeah, your team is everything.
What are the qualities you look for in, potential partners or collaborators?
Well, when I'm building a team, I want people who share my passion and vision, but it's also important that they bring different skills and perspectives to the table.
Okay.
It's about creating a group where everyone can learn from each other and contribute their unique strengths.
So it's like finding that synergy where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Exactly.
One source emphasized the importance of culture fit.
Yeah. Culture fit.
What does that mean exactly in the context of like a successful startup?
Culture fit is all about building an environment where everyone feels valued and respected,
Hmm.
and where they feel empowered to do their best work. It's about creating that sense of community and shared purpose that aligns with the company's values.
So it's not just about finding talented people, but also about creating a culture that allows them to thrive and
Right.
really contribute to a common goal. We've covered so much in this deep dive, from the basics of entrepreneurship to the challenges and rewards, and even its impact on society as a whole.
It's been a great conversation.
As we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to add? Any final words of wisdom for our listeners who might be thinking about taking that entrepreneurial leap?
I just say the most important thing is to just start.
Just start.
Yeah, don't let fear or self-doubt hold you back.
Mm.
Take that first step, even if it's something small, like just brainstorming some ideas or reaching out to someone you think could be a mentor.
So it's about taking action and building momentum.
Exactly. And remember, entrepreneurship is a journey, not a destination. Embrace those challenges, celebrate the wins, and never give up on your dreams.
Well said. This deep dive has been so inspiring, and I really hope our listeners feel empowered to explore their own entrepreneurial potential and, go out there and make a positive impact on the world.
It's been a pleasure sharing this journey with you. And remember, the future is shaped by those who dare to dream big and actually take those steps to turn those dreams into reality.
So go out there, fellow deep divers, and make your mark on the world.